Hello students, in my previous video I will describe about chemical reaction, how to balance chemical reaction and different types of chemical reaction like a combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction and also about acid base or neutralization reaction. Now in this video we discuss about rate of chemical reaction. Some chemical reaction are fast, that is complete in fraction of second. Some chemical reaction are slow, it takes long time to complete, and that fastness and slowness of chemical reaction depends upon its rate. How fast chemical reaction is going on, it is called rate of chemical reaction, and we can define it amount of reactants change into product in per unit time or in 1 second is called rate of chemical reaction, or amount of product obtained from reactants in per unit time is called rate of chemical reaction. Rate of chemical reaction depends upon various factors like heat, light, pressure, physical state, physical contact, concentration, these all factors. And how these factors increase the rate of chemical reaction, that we discuss here. At first we define about what is a rate of chemical reaction. The name of topic is chemical reaction of class 10, and here we define rate of chemical reaction. It can be defined as amount of reactants change into product in per unit time is called rate of chemical reaction. And here in any kind of reaction we found that reactants change into product, that is called direction of change in chemical reaction is from reactants to product. Every second concentration of reactant going decreases and concentration or amount of product going increases. In which type of reaction? If the reaction is not reversible, then. And rate of chemical reaction depends upon various factors, and here we write on which factor rate of chemical reaction depend. At first we write how it depends upon temperature. When we give heat energy to the reactant, then its temperature increases, or average kinetic energy of the reactant molecules get increases. As we know that when reactant molecules collide with each other, then it gives product. Suppose product are there. Reactant molecules collide with each other. That collision causes new type of substance is formed, which is called product. And when we give heat energy to the reactants, then kinetic energy of the molecule increases. As a result, reactant molecules collide with high kinetic energy, and every collision becomes effective to gives product, and the rate of chemical reaction increases. And here we write, on increasing temperature of reactant molecules, rate of chemical reaction increases. Because kinetic energy of reactant molecule increases, which increase effective collision, and hence more products are formed. In any chemical reaction, that effective collision brings chemical change, help in formation of product. And when we give heat energy or increase temperature of reactant molecule, then kinetic energy of the reactant molecule increases. It collides with more force, and every collision becomes effective collision sufficient to give product. As for example, when we heat limestone, then it gives lime plus or calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. In this reaction, when we increase heat energy or when we increase temperature of reactant, like when calcium carbonate is decomposed at 1000 degrees Celsius, then certain amount of product will be obtained. Again we increased temperature of calcium carbonate more than 1000, 1100, 1200, then more products are formed. And therefore we can write, by increasing temperature of calcium carbonate in this reaction, rate of chemical reaction increases or more products are formed. By increasing temperature of calcium carbonate gives more product or rate of reaction increases. Or in all reaction when or which are endothermic in nature, that needs heat to change On that condition, when we give or increase temperature of reactant molecule, then rate of chemical reaction increases. Other factor is pressure. When we increase pressure in a reactant molecule by confined inside the closed container, then by increasing pressure, reactant molecules come closer and there is high chance of collision. Rate of collision increases, and in this way rate of chemical reaction increases. When several times a reactant collides, then any collision may become effective collision to give product. And here we write, by increasing pressure of reactant molecules or of reactant, rate of chemical reaction increases. Why rate of chemical reaction increases by increasing pressure? Because it brought reactant molecules closer, and effective number of collision increases. That is, collision rate increases, then gives more product. As for example, when nitrogen combine with hydrogen, then it gives ammonia gas. Or nitrogen and hydrogen react, then it gives N2 gas, H2 gas, that react, then it gives ammonia. It is also gas. And here that reaction only takes place at high temperature, high pressure. When we give more, or how we balance, firstly it is necessary to balance 2NH3. In this reaction, when pressure increases, then reaction shifts towards forward direction, that is more ammonia gas produced. When pressure decreases, then it gets reversed. And in this way, pressure helps to increase collision between nitrogen and hydrogen to combine to give ammonia molecule. Third factor is here light. In some chemical reaction, light helps to activate reactant molecules, gives energy to the reactant molecules, and reactants change into product. And here we write, light gives energy to reactant molecules and hence increase rate of chemical reaction. That is, light provide energy to reactant molecule to cross energy barrier and gives product or change into product. In any chemical reaction, we found that certain barrier of energy is found. Reactant change into product only after crossing that hill or barrier. and to cross that barrier reactant molecules needs energy, and additional energy help to cross that barrier and change into product. And some chemical reaction only get complete when there is presence of light, like a photosynthesis reaction. Plant take carbon dioxide through stomata, and root help to absorb water from ground, and in presence of sunlight in plastid or chlorophyll, plant prepare food material by photosynthesis process and form starch C6H12O6 and release oxygen gas. This reaction is called photosynthesis reaction. 6 carbon is there, hydrogen is 12, oxygen is 12, 6, 18, 6, 12, 18. And in this way, starch is formed by photosynthesis reaction. And when there is sufficient sunlight, then more starch is formed. And when there is lack of sunlight, on that condition, rate becomes slow. Fourth factor is here, or second other example we can write, like a hydrogen gas when react with chlorine gas in presence of light, listen, that gives hydrogen chloride gas. Light energy convert that molecule to atomic form, gives energy and help to react with each other and change into product. And rate of these all reaction depends upon light energy. Other factors which increase the rate of chemical reaction are catalyst. Fourth factor is catalyst. Some chemical substance are used to change the rate of chemical reaction. Like when chemical reaction is slow, when we add catalyst in it, then its rate get increased. And when we add catalyst in those chemical reaction which is very fast, then by adding catalyst help to decrease the rate of chemical reaction. Therefore, catalyst increase or decrease the rate of chemical reaction, and itself remains unreacted, or without consuming in it, it changes the rate of chemical reaction. Here we write the chemical substance which change, or we can write increase or decrease the rate of chemical reaction are called catalyst. Listen. Catalysts are chemical substance that increase or decrease the rate of chemical reaction. So which type of substance are called catalyst or used as a catalyst? If these properties are found, then a substance can be used as a catalyst. And here we write properties of catalyst. Listen. Catalyst remains unreacted, or it remains unreacted at the end of reaction. or it do not take part in chemical reaction. Other characteristic is here, it changes the rate of chemical reaction. If by adding certain substance rate of chemical reaction get changed, then only it is called catalyst, otherwise not. Other is here, it is used in a small amount. The catalyst used in chemical reaction is always smaller or less in comparison to the reactant molecule. Other we write it can't begins the reaction or initiate the reaction. Also we can write initiate. It can't initiate the reaction or ends the reaction. Reaction itself begins, only catalyst help to change the rate of chemical reaction, either increase or decrease. Therefore, the role of catalyst is, some catalysts increase the rate of chemical reaction, these are called positive catalyst, and some catalysts used to decrease the rate of chemical reaction, these are called negative catalyst. And now we describe about type of catalyst. Types of catalyst. Listen. Catalysts are classified into two types. First are your positive catalyst, and from that definition we can write the chemical substance which increase the rate of chemical reaction. Increase the rate of chemical reaction, then it is known as positive catalyst. And positive catalyst help to only increase the rate of catalyst if in some chemical reaction two or more than one positive catalyst may be used. On such condition, one acts like a positive catalyst, another acts like a promoter. And here we write, if two catalysts or two positive catalysts used in reaction, then one is called simply positive catalyst and another is called promoters. Listen. And therefore promoters are also positive catalysts, and several chemicals are used as a positive catalyst. The example of positive catalyst are iron can be used as a positive catalyst, vanadium pentoxide can be used as a positive catalyst, nickel can be used as a positive catalyst, and other like a manganese dioxide can be used as a positive catalyst. Several positive catalysts are generally transition metals having a smaller atomic size. Therefore, when used in chemical reaction, then it increases surface area of reactant increases, and therefore these type of elements acts like a positive catalyst. And we can show the action of positive catalyst in chemical reaction. Suppose we consider when potassium chlorate heated, then it gives potassium chloride and oxygen is formed. To balance, here we write 2 and 3. On heating potassium chlorate, that gives decomposed into potassium chloride and oxygen. And when we use positive catalyst like a manganese dioxide in it, then rate becomes fast. In fraction of second, rate becomes double and triple. And in this way, positive catalyst acts like it helps to increase the rate of chemical reaction. When hydrogen peroxide decomposes, then it gives water and oxygen. In this reaction also, when manganese dioxide increases, then rate becomes fast, rate gets increases. And in this way, positive catalyst help to increase the rate of chemical reaction. Other type of chemical or catalyst are negative catalyst. Like a positive catalyst are called negative, promoters, same as a negatively catalyst are called catalytic poison. Or main function is what? It decrease the rate of chemical reaction. Its main function is what? It decrease the rate of chemical reaction. How? So when negative catalyst used in chemical reaction, then it create inactive environment. It neutralize reactant molecules and the rate of chemical reaction decreases. As for example, when we use glycerol or glycerin in chemical reaction, then reaction get stopped or retarded, rate get retarded. Alcohol used there, then also rate of reaction get retarded. When you use hydrogen peroxide in any reaction, then its rate get retarded. When we use phosphoric acid in chemical reaction, then its rate get retarded. Therefore, these are called negative catalyst. Inert gases, nitrogen, these also acts like a negative catalyst. And we can show it example like when hydrogen peroxide decomposing into water and oxygen. In this reaction, when we use glycerol, then reaction becomes slow or it get stopped. And in this way, in same reaction, above reaction here also in potassium chlorate, when glycerol or alcohol added, then its rate also get retarded or slow down. And in this way, catalyst help to increase or decrease the rate of chemical reaction. Next other factor is here surface area of reactants. Listen. Surface area of reactant molecules is most important factor on which rate of chemical reaction depends. When more surface area of reactants react, then gives more product, or less surface area take part in chemical reaction, then it gives less product. Why? Because by increasing surface area of reactant molecules, number of molecule which take part in chemical reaction increases, and we write by increasing surface area of reactant molecules, rate of chemical reaction increases. Why? Because more reactant molecule or more reactants molecules take part in chemical reaction. When less surface area involved in chemical reaction, then less molecule involved in reaction and rate becomes slow. As for example, when we use zinc, which type of granulated zinc with acid like a hydrochloric acid, zinc chloride and hydrogen gas is formed. Simply zinc, granulated zinc we use. Why? Because by granulating or by making pieces, its surface area increases and rate of chemical reaction increases. When we take large piece of zinc, then the zinc atom present on outer surface of large mass of zinc only take part in chemical reaction and rate becomes slow. But in granulated zinc having more surface area, and due to that rate of chemical reaction increases. In all type of chemical reaction, like when we use calcium carbonate powder form with acid, then it gives calcium chloride, water and carbon dioxide gas is produced. In this reaction also, we can also take chips, or here also zinc piece, large pieces. When we take chips, then it comparatively having low surface area and rate becomes slow. But when we take powder of limestone, then in fraction of second reaction get completed. Why? Because more surface area of reactant take part in chemical reaction and reaction becomes fast. After that, your next number is your factor on which rate of chemical reaction is physical state. In gaseous state, molecules are apart from each other. There exists negligible molecular or completely here least molecular attraction force, and therefore less chance of reaction in open place. And here we consider about two physical states, solid and in liquid. Generally, rate of chemical reaction in liquid state of reactants, or liquid means what we know that in solution state rate of reactants is higher than solid. Why? Because in solid molecules are tightly packed and reactant molecules can't get mixed easily with each other and gives product. And generally in solution state most of the chemical reactions are fast, and generally all reactions or most of the reactions are observed in solution state. As for example, here listen, sodium hydroxide in solution state reacts to hydrochloric acid in solution by dissolving in liquid, or in aqueous solution also we can write. Then it gives sodium chloride and water is formed. Here it is called salt solid and here liquid is formed. But it is found in here solution state also, that remains dissolved in water. When we use other form of that chemical substance, then rate get decreases. Why? Because in liquid or in solution form, reactant molecule completely get mixed and get more chance to react with other reactant molecules. Next other is here concentration of reactants. Concentration means what? Number of reactant molecules present in certain volume of reactants, and by increasing concentration of reactants, rate of chemical reaction increases, because number of reactant molecules take part in chemical reaction increases. Number of reactants molecules involved in chemical reaction increases. In any chemical reaction, when concentration increases or by adding more reactant molecule in certain volume, and here we write example: concentrated acids are more reactive than dilute. When we use concentrated or conc acid and dilute acid, the conc acids are more reactive. Or in any type of chemicals or reactant molecule, when a number of reactant molecule increases, then it is considered as its concentration increases. And in such condition, rate of chemical reaction increases because more number of reactant molecules take part in chemical reaction. As for example, by increasing concentration of sodium thiosulfate and hydrochloric acid, rate of chemical reaction increases. By adding these two, we found that reaction becomes faster. And why it is so? Because by increasing concentration, rate of chemical reaction increases. And in next video, we discuss about more factors and exothermic endothermic reaction, similarly as reversible and irreversible reaction. Also about important question related to chemical reaction. Thank you.